Hey folks, this is Eric coming from Kansas again. So in a previous video, you saw me point to this guy right here, and I said I'd go over it later. Well, now is the time I decided to go over that. And what it is a marine grade battery charger. And if you've seen some other videos, you know we already have a charger inside of our inverter charger up here that charges our two sets of battle worn batteries here, and our other battery over here. It's from Big Battery. They're all 24 volt nominal lithium iron phosphate chemistry type batteries. But the reason I got this, in addition to our inverter charger up here, which can charge the batteries as well, is because after running our generator, we just have a small Honda EU 2000 generator. I think it's rated at 1600 watts continuous, but I think online people have had them running over 2000 watts. And I think the 1600 watts is what Honda rates it at, because they probably rate that at a really high ambient temperature. And if you were at much more mild temperatures or colder temperatures, I think that's when those generators can handle more load. But anyway, back to this guy here. The reason I got this is because we have that generator, and what I realized is that generator can't handle some of the fridge starts that occur when we're charging the batteries and also running loads in our house. So what I've decided to do is, get a backup system here, or I guess use this as a primary battery charger, and then, we'll always have the inverter charger as a backup to charge batteries. But what this guy allows me to do is to charge the batteries while this inverter charger can take all the heavier loads, because it's rated for 4,000 watts, plus, depending on the starting currents and everything that are going on. So this inverter charger and these nice lithium batteries can handle the big surge loads and larger temporary loads. Well, this guy here can charge the batteries at a nice constant rate, and the generator can run at a nice constant rate and stay as efficient as possible, and not have to deal with those surges and whatnot. So what I bought here, you can find these all over the internet on eBay, and you don't have to look very long to find a good deal. You can start to get a flavor of the brands that are out there. That there's the Victron brands. There's Samlex makes a really good marine chargers. Xantrex does, and also this company called Charles Charger. They've been around for a while too. I think there's another company called Nautilus. There's lots of them out there that you can find, and you can find them used. And honestly, the electronics, electrical equipment, in my opinion, used is just as good as when it's brand new. It really doesn't wear out hardly at all, unless it's been in a really hot environment and whatnot. But these marine battery chargers are made for salt water and everything, so they're built pretty stout. Most of them are, especially if you find the older ones. They're most of them were probably made in the USA back when they were made, like this one was. I think this one's probably, well, it's pretty old. It's probably 15, 20 years old, I'm guessing, somewhere in that range. It looks that. But anyway, so I want to talk about this, and that's why I bought it, is to give my generator a break when I want to use it to charge batteries. And so I'll go ahead and switch cameras here, and I'll show you some close-ups of this, and then how I have it wired into my system, and then I'll do a little demo of the generator running it and charging the batteries. So here we go. Alright, so to show you the connections on this Charles Marine Charger here, the connections are all down at the bottom here. So what I've got is the AC connection is right here, It's just a cord I got from another appliance. I'm pretty sure it's 12 gauge wire, but if you follow this white cord here, I just cut it kind of jerry-rigged, running through some of my other stuff here, and just comes out to a plug right here. And I'll show you the rest of that in a minute. The other connections are on the DC side. We've got the positive connection going to just one of the sets of battle-born batteries here, and it's obviously connected to the rest of the positives throughout the system. So ultimately it goes up, it's connected to everything in the positive bus bar inside this box here. On the negative side, on the DC side, we got so this is an 8 gauge wire. I had that left over from some other projects and whatnot. In here, in this blue wire, if you can see that here, there inside here there's two 10 gauge wires. So I didn't have a long enough black 8 gauge wire, so I just used two 10 gauge wires, and you'll see those two here in a second. But I ran those over into my negative bus bar box, but I ran them up through here. They're not connected to the negative bus bar in here. They just run through this box. They run up here in this tube conduit, and then into the DC Midnight Solar DC disconnect box, and they connect up to the far side of the shunt here, that shunt that measures everything in and out of the battery. So that way I have it connected up this way so that I can monitor the amount of current that is going into the batteries versus not being able to see it at all. I did have it connected down here to one of the negative terminals on these batteries, but I couldn't see the current that was flowing out of this charger, so I changed it up a little bit and ran it up here on the other side of the shunt so I could see that. So and you'll see a demonstration of what this charger can do when I have it online. So that's the connections. As you can see, it's rated for a 30 amp charger, and here's a nice little ammeter gauge here on top to show you what's going on. Also, it's got some really nice big cooling fins on both sides, and it's got a cooling fan up top here. So and you'll see in the demonstration that the 30 amp rating is not quite accurate, but as you'll see in the demonstration here in a little bit, I was pleased with the results, so you can kind of guess what's going to happen. But at any rate, that's how it's connected. That's some of the features. I got it for shipping included. I got this thing for about 155 bucks. Brand new, these things go for $400 easy for this kind of a battery charging capability. If you search for a 24 volt or 24 volt 30 amp or 40 amp charger, they're $400 or $500 easy, brand new. So search online for these used. I would recommend it. Eventually you can find a good deal like I did. So here comes the demo. All right, folks, so for this demo, it wouldn't be very much fun just to hook the charger up to grid power. So of course we're going to use our generator here. So I'm going to go ahead and get this hooked up here, and I'll show you that here in a second. All right, folks, here's our little generator. Got it outside here. Here's our generator plug-in port. It doesn't look like it much, but it's a port. The plug-in port is on the bottom. You can see that at all. Kind of see that. And this is the companion model of the EU 2000. You see right there, which means it has the L5-30 type plug right here. It's a 120 volt 30 amp plug. It's a twist lock, so I'm going to put that in here. Twist it so it stays closed. And then this one, the same thing. I got the little notched plug that's facing the outside of this plug here. Put that in there and then twist it. That's locked in there. So now we're ready to go. And I'll go ahead and get started here. All right, folks, I got it running. And since I know this charger is going to pull quite a bit of current, which you'll see here in a minute, this thing right now is on the eco mode. It's a inverter generator, so it's pretty efficient, but you can take it out of eco mode and make it more easily able to accept surges in power. So I'll just flip that here. It's going to get louder. All right. So now I'm going to go downstairs and plug in the charger and flip the breaker for this line from the generator. So stay tuned, or hold on here. All right, folks, I'm back down here in the power center next to our breaker box once again, and to show you here, but I haven't plugged in this charger yet. It's the plug-in is still free. So what going on here is this is a Victron battery monitor, and we got 300 watts still being pulled from the battery because it's negative, about negative 12 amps at 25 volts. So you're going to see this number jump up here into the positive once I plug in this charger. And all the while, this inverter charger is just doing its thing, handling fridge start surges and you know, running the lights and all that good stuff. And so this guy, the AC power that's going out to the house is about 588 watts or so at this moment. There. And we got about negative 360, 370 coming out of the battery still, because we only have, sorry, it's hard to see there, the light above. Whoops. There we go. 300 or so watts coming from solar. So solar's helping out a little bit, but it's not doing everything. So we're still pulling from the battery a little bit. It's about 9 o'clock in the morning on April 3rd here. Okay, so now I'm gonna put the phone down here for a second, and sorry, my focus is terrible. And plug this in to this cord right here, and this cord goes up to a outlet right there, which I have I have connected to the one of the generator breakers up here in this box. So stand by. I'm going to plug this cord in, and then I'll show you I'm going to flip that breaker. All right, I've got the plug plugged in to the charger here. I'm still pulling from the batteries. So sorry about the focus there, folks. All right, here we go. Okay, now I'm going to flip the generator breaker. You can't hear the generator very well down here in the basement, but this plug right here comes down to this box and then gets fed from this breaker right here. And this breaker says generator to inverter charger, but I've changed this up. Now it's going to just this outlet right here at this time. So here's my other breaker where I can feed the house directly and bypass all the stuff down below here. So anyway, here goes. I'm going to flip the breaker, and we're going to start charging the batteries with the generator. Okay. All right. Now you can see this guy went from 0, and it's pegged out. Look at that. It's pegged out past 30 amps. So, gosh, what's up with that? It's rated at 30 amps, but it's putting out more than 30 amps. That's interesting. So let's check this out. So now, instead of taking away 400 or 500 watts from the batteries, 300, 400, 500 watts. So we're at the focus there. There we go. It is putting in 850 watts. So we went from negative 300 or 400 to 850. Well, what I figured out is this charger, when nothing else is coming into the battery like solar, this charger, I found out, puts out 43 amps. That's right, folks. I got quite a deal. I got a what I thought was a 30 amp charger, and I got a 43 amp charger in actuality at 24, 25, 26 volts. So this charger is putting out, instead of, you know, rated to 720 amps, 720 watts or so, it's putting out about 1100 watts of charging energy. And I've ran it like that for you know, for a couple hours when I was really doing some testing, and it just ran like a champ. I mean, these cooling fins get warm, they don't get very hot. The cooling fan, you know, the outlet of the cooling fan, the air gets you know, little, you can tell it's getting a little warm in there, but it just ran like a champ. And I watched it charge the batteries all the way up, and this ammeter, you know, so I have it set to charge an AGM type battery, so the charging voltage cuts off at like 28.4 volts or 28.8 volts or something like that, something in that range, right where I actually have these charge controllers set up to charge at. So once I get up to 28 volts or so, or 27 and a half, this ammeter just starts dropping off like a rock, just like it should. So this thing works like a champ, charges the batteries at an incredibly high rate compared to its rating. So anyway, if you can find a good deal like that, or if you can get one of these Charles chargers like this, I'd recommend it, definitely. I don't know if the Samlex chargers that are yellow in color like these do that, or do that kind of a rating, but anyway, pretty fantastic. Found on eBay that I found, but I wanted to show that to you, why I have this and what it is. And so yeah, I can charge these batteries at a nice consistent rate. And yeah, it's just kind of a needle in a haystack find, but glad I found it. And it's a nice way to charge the batteries as a separately from this inverter charger, and so that I can, and also as a backup. So anyway, wanted to show that to you. So hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. If you want to see anything else on this setup, just let me know, and we will talk to you later. Bye for now.